Host. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our research series, where we explore fascinating topics that help us understand the world around us. Today, we have an intriguing research topic to delve into: examining the relationship between compensation and employee motivation. This topic is crucial for both employers and employees as it sheds light on the impact of compensation on employee motivation in various industries. The best part is that you can select any industry or company you are familiar with to conduct this research. Let's get started. Before we jump into the details, let's understand why this research topic is so important. Employee motivation plays a significant role in organizational success. When employees are motivated, they perform better, contribute to the company's goals, and experience job satisfaction. Compensation is one of the key factors that can influence employee motivation. By examining the relationship between compensation and employee motivation, we can gain insights into how organizations can effectively design their compensation systems to enhance employee engagement and productivity. Now that we understand the importance, let's talk about some suitable industries for this research. While this topic is relevant across various sectors, some industries that could be particularly interesting to study include technology, healthcare, retail, and manufacturing. However, feel free to choose any industry or company you are familiar with to conduct your research. The findings can be applicable across different sectors and provide valuable insights. Chapter 1: Introduction. Now, let's dive into drafting Chapter 1 of your research paper, the Introduction. This chapter sets the stage for your study and provides the reader with a clear understanding of the research problem, significance, research questions, objectives, rationale, scope, and limitations. Let's break down each section. The first section is the research problem. It identifies the specific issue or gap in knowledge that your research aims to address. For example, a research problem could be the lack of understanding regarding the impact of performance-based compensation on employee motivation in the technology industry. Next, we have the research significance. This section explains why your research is important and how it contributes to the existing body of knowledge. It highlights the potential benefits and implications of your findings. For instance, your research could shed light on designing effective compensation systems that enhance employee motivation and, consequently, improve organizational performance. Moving on, we have research questions. These are specific inquiries that your research aims to answer. Let me give you 3 sample research objectives. How does the level of compensation influence employee motivation? What role does non-monetary compensation play in employee motivation? Are there differences in the impact of compensation on motivation among different job roles within an organization? Now, let's discuss research objectives. These are the broader goals your research aims to achieve. Here are 3 sample research questions. To determine the relationship between compensation and employee motivation. To assess the effectiveness of different compensation strategies in enhancing employee motivation. To explore the factors that mediate the relationship between compensation and employee motivation. Next, we have the research rationale. This section explains the reasons behind conducting your research, highlighting its relevance and potential contributions. It establishes the case for why your study is necessary and how it fills the existing research gaps. Lastly, we have scope and limitations. The scope defines the boundaries of your research, specifying the industry, company, or variables you will focus on. The limitations acknowledge any constraints or potential shortcomings of your study, such as sample size, time constraints, or data availability. Chapter 2: Literature Review. Now that we have covered Chapter 1, let's move on to Chapter 2: Literature Review. In this section, you will review and analyze existing research and scholarly works related to your research topic. This step is crucial to understand the current state of knowledge, identify gaps, and build a theoretical foundation for your study. To draft your literature review effectively, consider including these subtopics. Theoretical frameworks related to employee motivation and compensation. Studies exploring the relationship between compensation and employee motivation in various industries. The role of non-monetary factors in employee motivation. Best practices for designing compensation systems that enhance motivation. The impact of individual differences and job characteristics on the relationship between compensation and motivation. Chapter 3, Methodology. Now that we have built the foundation, let's move on to Chapter 3, Methodology. This chapter explains the methods and procedures you will employ to conduct your research. Let's discuss some key areas you should cover. First, we have the conceptual framework. This framework outlines the relationship between variables in your study. For this research, you could consider 3 independent variables: base salary, performance-based bonuses, and non-monetary benefits. The dependent variable would be employee motivation. Next, we have research philosophy. It refers to the beliefs and assumptions underlying your research approach. For this type of research, a suitable research philosophy could be positivism, as it emphasizes the objective measurement and analysis of data. Moving on, we have research approach. This refers to the overall strategy you will use to conduct your research. In this case, a suitable research approach could be quantitative, as it allows for statistical analysis and numerical data collection. Now, let's talk about research strategy. This involves selecting the specific methods and techniques to collect and analyze data. For this research, a suitable research strategy could be a survey or structured questionnaire to gather quantitative data from employees and statistical analysis techniques to examine the relationship between compensation and employee motivation. Finally, we have the data analysis method. The choice between quantitative or qualitative analysis depends on the nature of your research. In this case, a quantitative data analysis method, such as regression analysis or correlation, would be appropriate for analyzing the relationship between compensation and employee motivation. Chapter 4, Data Analysis. Now that you have collected your data, it's time to analyze it. Chapter 4 focuses on the data analysis process. Let's explore how to analyze your data based on the recommendations from the methodology chapter. If you have chosen a quantitative data analysis approach, you can use statistical software to analyze your data. For example, you could employ regression analysis to examine the relationship between compensation and employee motivation. Additionally, you can calculate descriptive statistics, such as means and standard deviations, to summarize your data. If your research involves qualitative data analysis, you can use thematic analysis or content analysis to identify patterns and themes within your data. By coding and categorizing your qualitative data, you can uncover insights and support your research findings. Chapter 5, Conclusion and Recommendations. Finally, we have Chapter 5, Conclusion and Recommendations. This section summarizes your research findings, highlights their significance, and provides recommendations for future action. It's an opportunity to draw meaningful conclusions from your study and suggest practical implications for organizations. That's a wrap on examining the relationship between compensation and employee motivation. For access to a preliminary version of the research topic, please follow the hyperlink provided in the description. Remember, this research topic offers a wealth of opportunities to explore different industries and uncover insights that can drive positive change in the workplace. We hope this video has provided you with a clear roadmap for your research. If you have any questions or need further assistance, feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more exciting research topics. Happy researching!